Here are three lessons I've learned that have made me more money in sales. If you're new here, hi, I'm Keanu, and I am a licensed real estate agent as well as a roof salesman. And so I have a little bit of experience selling, and I want to just document the lessons I've learned as well as give you real examples behind how I learned these lessons, sometimes the hard way. So the first one is to be confident with the value you're providing in helping homeowners in my situation. So I help people get approved through the insurance process, and sometimes dealing with insurance can be a hassle. So I know that what I do, I provide value. And this really helps if you're selling something that's not very scammy. I mean, as long as you're selling a real product or service, it just makes the sales process better because you can believe in yourself. I knew a guy who worked as a shoe salesman, and they were pretty low in shoes, but he believed that they were valuable to the customers, and the customers believed it too. And he was really successful in that industry. And the second part of that is to expect that the homeowners will probably tease you and kind of test you to see if you are worth dealing with their home. I mean, after all, for me, they're giving me access to get on the roofs to help them get a roof approved, or they're letting me sell their house, which is a big thing. And I've had people joke with me. They're like, "You're kind of young, aren't you?" And I kind of just have to be like, "Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a while. I've only been doing it for a month. As a company, we've been around for 40 years local to my city." That way I kind of help them feel more certain about they're getting more experience than just what I can offer them. I can offer them what my whole team can offer them. The second thing I have been working on, and a lesson I've learned, is to create a sense of urgency. A lot of the time, you'll be taught to close the deal right then and there. I've lost a couple clients where I wasn't urgent enough. I wasn't like, hey, this is a big deal. For my roofing specifically, I'm stopping people from having leaks. I am helping people get tens of $1,000s in their pocket. And the whole part of urgency for this is specifically because if you don't get your roof replaced when it gets hit by hail and you don't file a claim with your insurance, sometimes your insurance won't cover the damage if it's too late. And I have to make sure that the homeowner knows that this is a very important process. And if they don't get it done, they could possibly miss out on a lot of money and potentially be screwed out of a new roof. Number three, I learned was talking to the decision maker. And I learned this specifically on a couple that we're going to be talking about. I've had people be like, no, I'm not interested. And then I go to someone else who lives in the same house, and they're like, yeah, actually, that's exactly what we needed. Go ahead and get up there. And I've been able to make a lot of commissions this way. And so this is one that's super important for me that I've seen a lot of success with. So let's go ahead and get into real examples of how I've used these three lessons. The first homeowner, the son actually answered the door. He was like, hey man, I'm not interested. He was like 13 maybe. And just a teenager, didn't want to talk to a door-to-door salesman. That makes total sense. It was actually her mom or his mom that came out and talked to me and was like, actually, yeah, we really do need a new roof. Do you mind go checking it out? And that's what we do. We do inspections for the roofs. Had I not gotten lucky and talked to the mom, because she was actually watching through the Ring door camera, and so she was talking to me through the Ring, and the son was standing in the doorway, like obviously annoyed, but they needed help. And the situation was that their roof was so old and damaged. And so I was able to get the roof approved. And I actually remember following up with them and congratulating them and being like, that's awesome. I'm glad you got a new roof paid for. I mean, it's a big deal, not having to pay for something on your home, a big repair like that. That was the first time someone had called me and said that like what I did actually helped them. And I think that that alone, them calling me and being like, you are making a difference in my life, that made me like just so much more motivated to make more money via commissions. And so that was really cool. I showed them all the damages and I kind of like got them on board, and they already knew they had damages. So it all worked out really well. And then things I could have improved from that was I didn't have a contingency ready. So a contingency form is basically saying like, you're going to work with us, but it ended up being all good. I had to go back to that neighborhood anyways, but that was time I could have been spending generating more leads. So the next one, she didn't speak very good English, but I wasn't discouraged by it. I was confident in what I was doing. And I talked to her. She understood my English, but she couldn't speak it back. I was confident in what I was doing. I got up there, I was confident during the call, and I asked her if we should do the call outside or in her house, and she invited me in. But I really should have asked for more than that. I should ask for more referrals, and one of my coworkers had difficulties getting hold of her. But yeah, just being confident, even if it seems like it's not going to go anywhere. Because I knocked on that door, and it really didn't think it was going to go anywhere because she wasn't really being receptive. When someone's like talking to you and you're going back and forth, it almost felt very one sided. But I was confident in what I was doing, and I ended up closing that commission. So that was really awesome. The next one, let me double check. Oh yeah, so this guy was kind of he was a grumpy old man at first. he was, like, "What do you want?" Or, "Oh," and then I was able to overcome his objections in a playful manner. And this goes back to being confident of what you're selling. I'm really lucky to be in an industry that I just feel like I'm absolutely helping homeowners. The homeowners never pay us. It's actually the insurance that pay us. So I overcame all of his objections in a playful and firm manner. I was really confident in what I did. I actually used a closing statement that was a little bold. This is the only time I used it so far, but I was like, "Man, are you the type of person to prevent a problem," which was the leak, "or to react to it?" But he was like, "Hop up there, man." And then my other closing thing was, "Do you have any objections to me hopping up there and telling you what I see?" And that one worked like a charm. He kind of like, again, he was really like testing me the whole time. I put busting my ball. I don't know if that's the right word for it. He said something along the like, "Oh, you were up there so long picking on. I heard you. Like, how do I know you didn't damage my roof?" If you know anything about shingles, like you're not really gonna mess with it if it's a good shingle, but if it's old and it's got hail damage on it, you can tell. Like, but I was confident. I was like, "Hey man, I didn't mess with it. That's an old house. That's an old roof. I don't need to mess with it. Like, it's damaged." And he knew that, but he was just testing me. Another thing I did great was I was patient with this dude. He's older and he was struggling with some of his insurance work, but we totally got it figured out. And so that was really amazing. And actually another thing that I learned to make a ton more money in commissions is asking for referrals. So I asked him for a referral and I got another one. Which was this one. This one took me forever. It was really, really hard to get this one. This one falls under they talk to the decision maker category. So for this person, I had to talk to the decision maker. So basically, the wife was home when I was doing the inspection, and I had scheduled the inspection through the husband. And I was talking to the wife, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, this is what we do." And she had some questions. I answered them, and she was really thankful. She was like, "Yeah, I'm glad that you take the time to let me know, even though my husband's making the decision." And I'm like, "Right, but I want both spouses to be on board and to be understanding of what it is we do." And she really loved that. She ate that up. But her husband wasn't going to be home until later. And it was like 8 p.m. by the time I went back out there. We talked for about 30 minutes, and I ended up closing the deal because I was able to talk to the decision maker. Talking to the decision maker, that's been a big part of me making a lot of money. It sucks when you get the, "Oh, I'm not the homeowner, I'm the renter," or "I'm just babysitting." Stuff like that. It's just really frustrating. Alrighty, this one I did not close. She just really didn't want to go through with the process, and the problem was that she had a granddaughter that was really wanting to help and go through the process, but the granddaughter wasn't the decision maker, and therefore we were not able to get her to get her roof covered because she didn't want to do the process with us, and that just was unfortunate. With this one, I was not urgent enough. So I wasn't confident in what I was doing, and I just didn't display that urgency enough to her. That goes up to creating a sense of urgency, because this is important. What we do is we protect homes from leaks, especially in the winter when hail and snow get on the roofs. And I didn't do a good job at that. So that's one thing I'm going to be working on for that one. So that was a little short 3 things I've learned from talking to homeowners and filing claims for commission. It is a pretty cool job so far. I need to get better at it. And so these are 3 takeaways that hopefully you can get something value out of. If you like the video, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and check out my other videos just following up on my career. And peace.